I know, but sometimes, well, I was thinking because this song, Another World, if you want to read it, then you can see it symbolizes maybe the previous years, and now maybe because you ask yourself, will there be peace? I was thinking, are your thoughts now that you put into this song, are they changed a little bit? Maybe I don't know because of what happened, or
The song reflect. I wanted to say in as clear language as I could,
yeah,
in as direct a way as I could, how I felt when I looked out on the disappearing, the sense of disappearing, vanishing natural world, you know, and when I considered our relationship to the natural world, you know, that's where the song is rooted, you know. So Obama's election is certainly, it doesn't change my sentiment. Hasn't changed my sentiment in that regard. My thought when writing this song was it was very conscious, as opposed to most of the songs I kind of write and then I think about them later. What it could, you know, what are the implications of it. This one I wanted to mark the time very clearly, mark how I felt, and just participate as a singer in our evolution, I guess, or our story.
so was it hard to write this way?
No, it was. Well, I just had to keep the focus on myself. You know, I wanted to keep the focus very much on myself, and I wanted it to be about how I felt, as opposed to something. You know, we all know what's happening. You know, I mean, at this point, my grandmother knows it. Every taxi driver knows what's happening. Everyone's aware of the change in the weather. Everyone's aware of changes in the planet's ecosystems, and the thing I wanted to bring to the table was just how I felt about it. And because I'm a singer, that's my kind of my area of expertise.
Yeah. No, but sometimes you can say sometimes, well, some singers, they also bring about some sort of solutions, but that's not for you.
Well, I mean, I have my own ideas, you know, and I'm working on solutions for myself, you know.
Okay. Name me one for you that you work on?
You know, I've been on slowly feeling more comfortable and confident. You know, I mean, I've been, you know, a lot of the album, in fact, sort of circles a theme of a kind of a feminine reflection, or a feminine spiritual reflection in the natural world. And you know, as someone who was raised Catholic in quite an alienated kind of mental condition, you know, like feeling that I was so separate from the rest of the world, feeling that I had a soul. As a human being, I had a soul, and no one else had it. None of the other animals had a soul, none of the trees had a soul, you know, and that we're supposed to be working towards getting to some abstract heaven when we die, you know. I think for me, it's been a long journey to feel more comfortable with my intuitions about things. And one of those intuitions that's been slowly emerging is an alignment with a more feminine basis for perceiving even spirit and spirituality.
Do you know when that transition for you was made?
It's been happening all my life, even since I was a teenager, you know. You know, it's a little bit more pagan, I guess, but you know, as I get older, I'm more formal, and I can more formally separate from some of those patriarchal, spiritual systems that don't serve me, in my sense of a relationship to the things around me. You know, that a lot of those ideas that I learned as a kid made me feel very lonely and very frightened, and just made me almost as though I didn't exist, you know. as a transgender kid too, my alignment was very naturally with a more feminine impulse. I was always aligned with the mother line as opposed to with the father line. So I just couldn't wrestle any sense out of those systems, like being raised as a Catholic or whatever.
Yeah.
So a lot of the poems in this album revolve around kind of some kind of mystical unfurling of nature, and that somehow married to creativity as that's kind of the muse that I follow.